On January 10th, 2025, an artist on Twitter accused another of using AI. The accusation came with a now familiar annotated image, full of red circles and arrows, pointing out the supposed telltale signs of a machine. The problem? It wasn't AI art. The signs were just a mix of human mistakes and stylistic choices. Many people defended the artist, and the accuser eventually deleted the tweet and apologized. But it was too late. The targeted artist, after being relentlessly bullied, deleted their account entirely. The art community was furious. The AI witch hunts had gone too far. This isn't an isolated incident. These false accusations are happening everywhere. To artists, writers, musicians, every kind of creative is now a potential target. So today, we're going to examine a case so dramatic it ended in a financial settlement. We will talk about why this is happening and ask if there's any way to put an end to it. This story revolves around an artist named Zuyu who makes cool anime-focused art. He was working with a streetwear company, Ice-T Aesthetics, or ICT, for whom his designs were best sellers. But in June 2024, ICT saw comments accusing Zuyu of using AI and decided to investigate. They asked Zuyu for his work-in-progress sketches. Zuyu sent them, but ICT thought they looked suspicious. When confronted, Zuyu defended himself, saying he'd never used AI and that the accusations were draining his motivation. He said the only way to offer 100% proof would be to record his process from scratch, which he planned to do. ICT clarified their main concern. They believed he was tracing over AI line art. They told him if he could just provide a time-lapse, they would believe him. And then silence. Zuyu didn't respond for over a month. ICT could have sent a follow-up. They could have quietly paused his collection. Instead, they chose the nuclear option, a public witch hunt on Twitter, accusing Zuyu for the whole world to see. They even ended their thread by inviting people to join in, saying, "We're thinking of burning Zuyu at the stake, but before we do that, we want your opinions." The thread went viral, getting millions of views and instantly ruining Zuyu's reputation. 2 days later, they doubled down, posting another thread with their extensive evidence. A piece of art had 2 zippers on a jacket. A gun in one piece looked strange, and guns are a known AI weakness. Another character's shirt had 2 ends. These were the tiny blemishes they built their case on, even though the clothes with these designs were best sellers. ICT admitted they didn't have 100% proof and offered Zuyu $1,000 and an apology if he could prove them wrong by live streaming his process. It was a small gesture, but the public damage was already done. The next day, Zuyu delivered. He released a video of himself drawing a new piece from scratch. He also released a statement explaining the heavy emotional toll of the hate mail and death threats. The harassment was so bad he announced he was taking a break from art and social media. ICT finally posted an apology, but it was worded to make themselves look as good as possible. In the end, they paid Zuyu $1,500, sent him an iPad, and launched a special collection with his designs. But the accusation thread got millions of views. The apology only got 285,000. This means millions of people likely saw the accusation but never the retraction. Zuyu's case is far from unique. Recently, Hot Topic released new merch that was immediately accused of being AI-generated. People flooded the website with negative reviews, with one user writing a detailed analysis claiming a character's legs are disoriented, his tail syringe is missing, and another character does not have a nose. The artists quickly posted their original sketches as proof, and a flood of positive reviews came in to defend them. The pattern is always the same: accusation over tiny details, the artist posting proof, and the accuser doubling down. Sometimes it's just absurd, like one accuser who claimed a drawing had an extra finger when it clearly had 5. This isn't just online drama. It causes artists to lose motivation and even quit. Real artists are now being kicked out of conventions over false AI claims, while people selling actual AI-generated images operate freely a few tables away. This isn't limited to visual art. Writing is also being targeted. Instead of bad hands, the supposed signs are using M-dashes or the word delve. Writing witch hunts rely heavily on AI detectors, which are notoriously inaccurate. The biggest victims are students, who are being failed by professors using these flawed tools in the dumbest ways. One professor failed a student because a detector gave their essay a 55% chance of being AI. The consequences are real: delayed graduations, failed courses, and lost scholarships. The new solution is for students to record their entire writing process, just like artists. Ironically, people are now using AI detectors to rewrite their human essays just to make sure they don't get flagged as AI. Not all accusations are made in good faith. Some are weaponized. You accuse someone you know is innocent just because you don't like them. For many trolls, your art is AI has just become the new "your art sucks." One pro-AI Reddit user even advocated for this as a strategy. The best thing to do is accuse all anti-AI artists of using AI. Never believe them. Baseless accusations are fun. They understand that by promoting witch hunts, they help demoralize real artists. We saw this play out when a Cambridge debater was accused of using ChatGPT after a strong performance against political commentator Charlie Kirk. Her response was simple. She's an internationally successful debater. She's supposed to be good at this. The accusation itself is a bizarre form of self-defeat. You're admitting that not only did you lose, but you lost to a chatbot. So why is this happening? For the public which hunts against creators, the main reason is that people feel threatened by AI. It's threatening livelihoods and dreams. Most people can't fight a trillion-dollar tech company, so they go after individuals instead. Making an accusation makes them feel like they're doing their part in the AI wars. They genuinely believe they're performing a public service by rooting out witches who are committing fraud. People often say the difference is that real witches didn't exist, but AI witches do. But historically, witchcraft was just a form of heresy, which was a real crime punishable by death. The real question then, as it is now, is whether it's okay to sentence people to online cancellation over their views on a new technology. There are better ways to handle this. First, we need AI labels. Platforms must require users to disclose their use of AI. This would allow AI haters to avoid AI content, and those who want human-made art to find it easily. Current platform labels are too hidden and ineffective. We also need legal mandates for things like invisible watermarks in all AI-generated content. Crucially, platforms need to provide a human-only filter. People should be allowed to be AI vegans and opt out of content they find unethical. Okay, so let's wrap with a little advice for everyone involved. To the witch hunters, if your real problem is with low-quality art, then just call it low quality. When you accuse any imperfect art of being AI, you're mostly just hurting beginners. To AI artists, be open about your process. There are people who like AI art. Make things for them instead of pretending to be something you're not. To human creators, document your process. It sucks that you have to, but right now, a time-lapse is the only foolproof way to protect yourself when the mob comes for you. And finally, you have to accept one thing. You are not good at telling what is and isn't AI. The technology is improving too fast. Stop the witch hunts. They don't hurt the big tech companies. They only hurt your fellow creators. So, what do you guys think? Do you agree with the AI witch hunts? Do you think this channel is 100% AI? I can answer this last question right away and tell you, is not. This channel has scriptwriters, voiceover actors, thumbnail designers, and more important, video editors that are responsible to get everything together to create the video. We also focus to deliver content of quality. So, with that being said, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Hearing from you always helps us to improve. And if you found this valuable, hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Until then, stay intelligent, stay informed.